Thank you. Please be seated. Prefect recognition of the week. Good job to Ripley's for winning inter-house hockey last night. And good job to Nolan Young for stepping up and playing for Renfrew last night.
Thank you, Thomas. Well done. Just before we start, I just want to make you aware of something, and that is that if you see this thing up here that looks remarkably like Darth Vader's head, it's actually a camera. It's a new camera, so you're all on camera. So just something to be aware of as you sit there. So smile for the camera this morning. Our opening hymn is hymn number 11, Callan Lan. Please stand. Thank you. Please be seated. And now just ignore the camera. I just noticed a lot of you are looking up and smiling at it. So, pretend like it is Darth Vader up there. And speaking of Darth Vader, in the movie Return of the Jedi, which was number what? Who's awake this morning? Return of the Jedi. Jackson. 6. It is. Who said 4? No, number 6. Wow. Well, listen, any guess is a good guess. So in that episode of Star Wars, the evil Emperor and Luke Skywalker are on the Death Star, and the following conversation ensues. Luke, soon I'll be dead, and you'll be dead with me. The Emperor, perhaps you refer to the imminent attack of your rebel fleet. Yes, I assure you, we are quite safe from your friends here. Luke, your overconfidence is your weakness. The Emperor, your faith in your friends is yours. Do you remember that? Who remembers that? Oh, some of you do. Good. Well, my point is that confidence is a funny thing. Too much confidence can make us arrogant and close-minded and thick-headed like the evil Emperor. And of course, too little confidence can make us fearful, hesitant, and can kind of make us stuck. So I want to share a few ideas about confidence this morning and begin by thanking the company at breakfast the other day who shared their ideas on this topic and inspired me with this topic for this morning. Marcus, Fallon, Sean, and Mr. Maddock. I don't even know if they're all here. And of course, it was Mr. Maddock, as you will have guessed, who came up with that quote from Return of the Jedi. So one of the things that we talked about over coffee is that the teen years are when you begin to formulate and express ideas and opinions on things. All of a sudden you start having opinions. Little kids don't really express opinions very much. I don't know if they have them. They certainly don't express them very much. A couple of weeks ago, Mrs. Rev and I had our grandnephews over for the weekend, and we kept asking them questions about, what they liked and didn't like and their thoughts about this and that. And they kept saying, I don't know, or, I'm not sure. And we had forgotten, because it's been so long since we had little people at home, that children tend to live in the moment. And while they know what they want in the right now, like if they're standing in front of the candy counter at Mason's, they're very clear about what they want. But they don't often have opinions beyond what is right in front of them. You know what I mean? Maybe you don't, I don't know if you remember that. So one of the really amazing things about becoming an adolescent is that you start finding yourself actually caring about and developing opinions about all kinds of things, from politics to fashion to school rules to sports, and on it goes. It's an exciting time, but it's also often a confusing time. Should I express my opinions? When should I do that? What will people think about my opinions? Are they dumb? Do I make sense? Do I have to have an opinion on everything? Why doesn't anyone ever ask my opinion? Why don't people stop asking my opinion? Right? Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So one of the things I enjoy most about being at Shawnigan and interacting with all of you is that you have all these opinions about the world that are so often fresh and unbiased and passionate. On the other hand, you formulate your opinions within the limitations of your relatively short life experience. So, as with many things, your weakness can be your strength and your strength can be your weakness. And perhaps this is why life as a teenager can at times be so painfully confusing. So here is some suggestions, informed and inspired, as I say, by a group of people who are just slightly older than you are. Be confident in your beliefs and opinions without closing yourself off to hearing the ideas and opinions of others. Especially pay attention to the opinions that are opposed to your own. Listen to yourself, to your gut feeling about things, but also be on the lookout for ideas from others that are new and interesting. And when you run into new ideas, don't be afraid to allow those new ideas to alter and modify your own ideas. You actually have nothing to lose by doing this and everything to gain. Be okay with having your opinions challenged, and challenge them yourself. It's part of developing strong opinions is kind of holding them up to challenge. Think about Socrates, that citizen of the world that keeps coming up. He was famous for saying that if he was wise, it was because he realized how little he knew. This from one of the most opinionated and brilliant men who ever walked the face of the earth. He also said this: employ your time in improving yourself by other people's writings so that you shall gain easily what others have labored hard for. So in other words, be open and take advantage of the hard-won ideas and thoughts of the learned men and women around you, and perhaps especially the ones that just a short while ago were exactly the age you are now. So the Gappies and the interns are not just pretty faces. They know a lot of stuff, so listen to them. So confidence is all about balance, and learning that balance, of course, is a lifelong task. Learning how to hold your ideas lightly, learning when to chime in and when to listen, learning whose opinion to trust and those to be a bit more skeptical about, finding that fine line, between being confident enough and not overly confident, or being confident, not too overly confident, but also not too timid. These are things that, all of us continue to learn, no matter how old we are. So how do we learn these things? And that's easy to answer, because the way to develop good, solid ideas and opinions and to learn the give and take of sharing them is, of course, just to do it, just to engage in the art of conversation. And I know this isn't as easy as it sounds, because, as you all well know, conversation can be a minefield filled with opportunities for me to make a complete fool of myself, to sound either stupid or arrogant, to make myself a target, to draw the scorn and disdain of others, to be shot down in flames. Any of this sound familiar, or is this just me that experiences this? It's a wonder that anyone ever opens their mouth, really, when you think about it. But on the other hand, it's not surprising because good conversation connects us with others and with ideas in exciting and moving ways. And the more we do it, the more our confidence grows, of course. So real confidence, the confidence that helps us grow into effective people and that earns the admiration of other people, is the confidence that comes from trying out our ideas and opinions in conversation, as scary as that may sometimes be. And of course, conversation's a two-way street. A good conversationalist knows not just how to hold forth, but how to listen, and listen with respect and care, and to learn from the ideas of others. So the word conversation comes from the Latin conversatus sum. I'm sure you knew that, which means to dwell in a place, to live with, to keep company with. And there are few things that make life more worth living than sharing feelings, thoughts, and ideas with our friends in ways that inspire and educate and help us to build confidence and increase our love and good feelings for our friends. So in the words of Francois, the Duke of Rochefoucauld, confidence contributes more to conversation than wit. Don't you love Google? You thought I actually knew that quote. I didn't. So be confident in a way that allows you to jump into conversations and to be open to the wisdom of the people around you. Speak, listen, and keep thinking. So have a wonderful Easter break and have one that's filled with conversations with your families and friends back home. And we'll end today with hymn number 8, the Ripley's House hymn, I Hear Thy Welcome Voice. Please stand. Thank you all. One more sleep. Have a great day.
Thank you. Sit down, please, for a sec. I said to Mrs. Milne, did we miss the last verse? And she said, you cut it out of the book. Did I cut the last verse out of the book? Okay, we need a new hymn book. We'll get a new hymn book? Yeah. Thank you. So, just as you go off to draw breath again in our very short break, an Easter break, I won't get another chance to speak to you as a group. I don't think I'll be around at lunchtime because I'm in a meeting. Just another well done, right? It never hurts ever to say thank you. And I just want to say thank you to all in the chapel and some of us who are not in the chapel today for all the efforts. You know, I think we're doing a marvelous job of what we set out to do right at the very beginning, which was keep our strengths strong and then address any of our weaknesses. That's the secret. Another great message from our chaplain this morning. If you take the combination of, even though you may not appreciate it as much as you will later on, to be listening and considering some of those words and then being in a community which is singing together on a dull, should be sunny April morning at 8 o'clock is something that you won't experience too much in life going forward. So treasure that, value it, and reflect upon it, will you? Join me in thanking our chaplain for all the insight and inspiration that he gives us. Thank you. So have a great little Easter break. I hope that there's a nice chocolate egg in there somewhere. Do you still like chocolate eggs at your age? Yeah? Yeah. I do. Thanks.